Hi there, welcome to a follow-on update in regard to the Noah Presgrove case and more specifically Cathy Bingham, private investigator. Whilst last night I recorded earlier, Cathy Bingham had responded back on the Facebook posts of Michael Fazekas CCTV footage of Cathy and Alicia in the past when they met at the Pressy's household and all that going on. I've acknowledged some of the comments. Cathy has responded back to some. I'm going to show you in just a second. Break it down, analyse if necessary, just a smaller one today, and also look at the comments from the video last night, answer any questions if needed, see if there's any additional points of interest, and then go from there. Welcome to anyone in this live premiere. Share your thoughts, live reactions in the chat on the right hand side of the screen if you're currently here. If you're watching late on catch up, be sure to drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and I can respond back later. If you want to catch up on recent coverage, the full playlist will be located top right corner screen where the eye symbol is. And if you want to support the channel, PayPal link down below in the pinned message. So one thing that I have adjusted slightly for this live premiere is setting it later back because of the time zone difference with the UK going into British summertime. That probably messes it up for the US and it might make it earlier for people. So if I do it like 30 minutes later, we'll see how that goes, see how many people turn up and see if it's the appropriate time. And if so, I'll keep it to that for the future until time goes back to normal, okay? So without further ado, let's begin. Look at the latest responses. As you see on screen within this comment thread, we've got Tommy Burden responding to Tim. If nothing to share and you talk to Cathy Bingham, ask her to share it here and the army page and Noah's family. Cathy responds to Tommy saying, I don't have to show anything to anyone except LE and Noah's family, which I have done. I mean, in fairness, if that's truly the case, then that's good. That's the words you want to be hearing compared to the likes of maybe Alicia or Caden Pressy that have said, oh yeah, we communicate with Noah's family and we do this and we do that. And then Noah's family's kind of in the dark about stuff, which is a breakdown in communication for sure. But at least how it's worded here by Cathy. And more importantly, the attitude, the outlook by some of the Presgrove family members towards Cathy, where they have said, hey, give Cathy some slack. She's cared. She's done really well. She's doing all good. She's trying her best. And if, you know, the family approve, the victim's family approve of her, that's got to count for something, right? But then again, you could argue and say Robin Smith has said that, oh yeah, Alicia is a good person. We've got no problems there and vice versa. Well, look where we are right now. So just be cautious. Just because a family member or a close person here and there mentions positives about someone else, it isn't the be-all and end-all, top of the podium finish. Just be cautious regardless. Mona responds to Cathy, in your honest opinion, will the truth come out soon and some people will be arrested for this tragedy? Tammy to Cathy, glad you shared it with Ellie and Noah's family. I just hope it brings justice for Noah. Things are slowly happening. That's what Cathy Bingham says. I'll zoom in if you can't see. Things are slowly happening. Can't say how long it will take, but I do feel like justice will be served. So just in terms of how it's worded there, no massive promises, just simply explaining it in a basic way. A level of hope, a level of basic positivity. That's what you want. You compare it to other people in the past, of course, that have really pushed it. Justice by the end of the week, resolved by a few days' time, never happened. But, you know, slowly moving. I think maybe some of the family members may have said that in the past, possibly. No direct time on how long it will take, which is realistic, I guess. We're feeling that there will be justice served. Now, if there needs to be justice served, does that basically mean some form of foul play? Does that mean a possible murder? I mean, you know, if it was just a complete accident and no one was to blame, would there be any justice? Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know if that's a stupid question, but normally when you want justice for someone, you're like avenging them because of what others have done. Maybe they're responsible, maybe they know something and they're walking around free of charge and they need to be punished. There needs to be justice. Or could it just mean justice in an outcome, even if no one does get punished? How do people read Cathy Bingham's comment? Do you interpret it that there's a form of foul play or not? Drop a comment down below. And the next, Tammy, Glad you shared it. It's slowly happening. Mona, thank you. Noah and his family on both sides deserves justice, closure. Rest in peace. Cathy Bingham says, I have not nor have ever hid anything. I have no reason to. Okay. Interesting. That's what Cathy says. Let me know your thoughts. And then we saw Mike's comment previously. And Cathy Bingham responds to Mike, I do have text where I have communicated with the LE. They have and always will have any information I have/had. LE is welcome to my phone or any phone at any time. There we go. And then that is just a bit out of context, to be honest with you, but it's a viewer request of a frog riding a pig. But more importantly, the focus here with Cathy Bingham, it's good to see key people still somewhat active and communicating online, just for a little bit of coverage, the odd update here and there. It's nothing groundbreaking, but I just thought I'd include Cathy Bingham's voice because didn't get the chance to yesterday. Let's just see how things have transpired since my last video and what people have to say in response. Let's work our way up and we'll start with the bottom. As I said, with the context of what I did. I've completed what I said I was going to do. Sourwood, it's okay. Michael Facecast deletes comments that do not support his BS and then blocks anyone who tries to have a discussion. Your live chats have long been a much better source of freedom of speech. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, that's good to hear, Sourwood Honey. I think, arguably speaking, some of the developments and progress in learning about the case and certain stories and aspects and hearing from the dark side as well, a lot more progress has been made, not directly by me, but absolutely on my channel with viewers in the live chat. Because you won't see that elsewhere. You won't see it on certain original Facebook pages, original Reddit pages, because there might be limitations and restrictions. And on Facebook and those places, it's not live, but the live chat is a live chat. So you're getting real-time responses in the moment, more efficient. Lilia, can't wait. Good to be watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And the one tonight is a small little update. We got the person there. I don't know how you say it. From Heaven. Shout out to them. Sourwood, thank you for your continued coverage. It's come to our attention that the lying side, in addition to saying horrible things about you, are saying all we have ever do is say thank you. I'd like to invite everyone who watches your content to at least say thank you. We all watch and chat, then rewatch. Appreciate everything you do. And, you know, it doesn't just apply to Sourwood Honey because it will apply to other people, but shout out to Sourwood because I know just from my instinct and what I've seen here and there that people like this, like Sour and some others, actually watch, but can also multitask. And if not by multitasking, rewatching afterwards. And that could be the same with Strawberry as well. Taking it all in, or at least trying to, and that's a big positive because, you know, however messy this case community is, when I look back to the Dylan Rounds one, that was abysmal. The Dylan Rounds community, people couldn't even bother focusing or listening to my videos and the breaking news. But at least in this case, people can be bothered to and try to. So it's all good there. But what's going on with the lying side, in addition to saying horrible things about me and also about calling out my viewers just for saying thank you? I'm not aware of that, of people being complaining on the army page or of people being complaining on the travesty third group one. We've got Michelle, been listening as always for a great video. Rav, thank you, very enlightening. Appreciate that. Q for watching. That's all good there. What's this one? Lorraine. Caden said he was waiting on the email from Apple on data from 1 year and 7 months ago. Really? Is that true? I don't remember that. I don't remember Caden saying he was waiting on an email from Apple 1 year ago. Does anyone else remember that? Do we have a screenshot? Because if we did, I think we need to do a bit of a comparison. And that, when he got it, he would post it. Not once did he say when he got it. Right, when he got it, a couple of days, he could have posted it in a couple of days. Someone in the live chat said it, and y'all ran with that. For all you know, he has requested it that day. I know how slow requests can go, but anyway, calling him out like that is bullshit. Again, he said when he got it, you're all the ones that said in a couple of days, 2 days, give it a damn rest, will ya? Well, Lorraine Impetuous Powers, hold on a second, because we got to look at the patterns and trends. Don't you think it's interesting that when Caden said about it with the Apple and the data, that, shortly afterwards, he makes a disappearance act. That's convenient timing. It's an observation. They are needed. Totally agree with you. Some of the people on the lives are very horrible. You think people in the live chat are horrible? Well, let's look elsewhere on Facebook, on Reddit, how they are, what they say, what they do. And the odd other cretins on YouTube as well, with the labels, slanderous claims, deepfake AI technology. A lot of shit I've been put through. That when I see some stuff in the live chat, it's child's play compared to what I've experienced, for sure. Darkside says, well, it was said to be done like 8 months ago. Apple and forensics are 2 different things. I guess Mama hasn't kept Caden updated on the story being told. I care less what he posts. Police know Alicia's full of it. And there's never been any proof of Caden's timeline. No, his family nor police have seen this. What are you going to say when the truth comes out? Because it will. Alicia can't keep up the lies forever. And I'd say at a time like this, cracks are opening up, which is unfortunate, but that appears to be happening. And I've got some words to say about that too. But come on, it's important to acknowledge, whilst Caden's doing what he's doing or was going to do and made that promise, that's a positive, and of course patience is needed. But you would think that when that's underway, everything else remains as it is. But then you got Michael Fay's Kaz with that post, the CCTV defending Caden and Alicia, but it ends up backfiring because it actually makes Cathy look more innocent than Alicia and Caden, puts a lot of things into question and doubt. And shortly after that post, Caden's disappeared from different Facebook pages. What, because cover's been blown? Something's backfired? Got to take in mind, Caden Pressey has been through a lot in the past, maybe worse off back then than to some extent now. And obviously everyone has a limit and maybe a breaking point, but it's just the timing of it is a little bit questionable, that's all. We got Brooke, thanks for keeping on going, appreciate that. And then we got Brooke to Victor, thank you Victor. Truth is slowly showing and people are starting to see the liars and frauds. What does Lisa have to say? A couple of them. It's all going to come out. There's no reason to keep any real proof a secret anymore. Am I correct in assuming there's not an active investigation anymore? Hasn't the DA basically thrown his hands up in the air and said there's not enough proof to do anything? I'm so outraged right now. You're not very bright at all, Darkside says. You haven't a clue what law enforcement have done or what they know. In fact, you haven't got a clue of the basics of the case. I'm embarrassed for you. I'm sure you could go on, but please don't. Thinking other law officials that have been involved in this before handing it over to OHP shows you're not based in reality. Luckily, your nonsense only annoys and there's no bearing on this case. Thank you for the belly laugh. You do realise all Jack's minions sounds exactly alike. Who are Jack Newton's minions? I've never heard of that before. Lisa, how about we start with charges to LE for tampering with a crime scene? Well, we can't jump in on that because we've not actually seen the evidence ourselves of tampering with a crime scene, unless you're referring to another event at the scene and not the video. Tampering with a deceased person, but have we seen evidence of that? Failure to investigate a crime, but if they believed it wasn't a crime to begin with, why did it need to investigate it as one? I mean, failure to secure the crime scene, I guess you could talk about that, yeah. Hosting laws violated, well, yeah, but reality is all the times before that, laws were violated, and many times after that, laws will be violated. And people in the community, to some extent, will not be bothered or asked to report it. But if there's another death, now there's outrage. But if I say that and I'm basic realisticness, because that's what I am, and that's when humans get terrified within and then turn on me. We see how the patterns and trends go. I've seen it in the past. That's my reality. But because of being realistic, penetrate through the neural pathways, state it as it is, If that's not fine, this shouldn't be fine, that shouldn't be fine, but it's like picking and choosing when. Firearms with underage drinking is a felony in Oklahoma. I just found out. I could go on. Well, we've heard about the firearms. I think, was it A.J. Williams, the petty individual, or some other person that made a reference saying, well, of course firearms are going to be taken from the house, and Renee rounds them up because, people get in trouble for that, leaving them behind, and also with drinking as well. Well, yeah. Oh, so we'll just cover up for it then. Yeah, so people don't get in trouble. I thought there needs to be justice in different ways, right? Oh no, we'll just be selective and choose what and what not. And by the way, because firearms likely weren't involved in Noah's death, they might as well be taken away anyway. But they're still present at a scene which Noah was last seen at. I think it's all very important, but it's just not been treated quite like that. So there's some critiques, of course. Popsky, case gets wild. It definitely is. Lisa, when they called into 911, didn't the service truck driver say he was number 24? I don't know, I can't remember. Maybe I'll try and look back. Didn't Caden say something to the effect of a guy had a number on his badge, number 24? I can't remember. I do remember Caden mentioning about a badge number, and he could remember it, which was a bit of a surprise, considering the detail of it. Cops don't actually have to physically take people's phones for weeks anymore that they are interrogating. That is a thing of the past. In most modernised police headquarters, they have the technical ability to download everything right then and there whilst you're being interrogated. It takes about an hour, and when they give you your phone right back, they have everything they need to analyse everything, every stuff you deleted. And last but not least, of course, one day at a time. It's good username, that. Good video, Raf, appreciate that. Have the pressies shared the CCTV footage and Caden's phone analysis with Ellie and Noah's family? Question. If the footage and data are important to help solve Noah's case, don't walk to Ali, hand it over now and then leak by piece to a Facebook group. Oh God, we don't want any more leaks, do we? Okay, well, I'll try and answer some of your questions there right now. So in terms of one day at a time's question, when it comes to the phone data analysis, Caden's phone specifically, if that's what we're referring to exactly, well, don't look like the police have taken it, analysed it. You got to do in comparison with what Caden Pressey had said in recent time and what Alicia has stated as a fact in the past in the never released Partners in True Crime Part 2 interview. Back then, Alicia had said Caden's phone was eventually taken in by police after a long time of trying. Caden Pressey, I believe, may have mentioned that as well in maybe his first Partners in True Crime interview, about waiting months to do an interview with police, constantly trying to hand his phone in, but it never quite working out. I don't know for certain if Caden did say he eventually got his phone handed in to police or not, but as seen in the Partners in True Crime Part 2 interview, the unreleased one to the public, Alicia definitely said that Caden's phone was taken in by police, analysis done, confirms. I think it was either the GeoNet or the GeoFence, one or the other, proves Caden's timeline is true, is correct. Yeah, fast forward on, more recently, Caden has said, police never took my phone, so obviously it wasn't that important. And if his phone was never taken in, never analysed either properly. So, one says it's taken in, the other one says it wasn't. Mother, son, what the hell's going on? That's the problem. As for the CCTV, was it ever handed over to police or family? From the looks of it, no. In terms of Caden's phone data, was that handed over to the family? Doesn't seem to be the case, because in recent time the conversations have been, a link was sent to the family, it expired, so they couldn't access it. That's unfortunate. In regard to the CCTV, I don't know if it was handed to police, but Michael Facecast seems to have a few clips here and there. So you would think in some way that the CCTV footage, in whatever length it is, there's more of it. Alicia, it was still in the last conversation, DM, that there is more clips, videos, bits to 2 hours long in total, but I guess it might be cut up in pieces, which is awkward because it's posted at different times, start, middle, end, and in between. Is it posted in the correct order? And why is it drip fed? Why are we only getting little teasers here and there? Is that just to drag things out? More mind games, psychological warfare, delay stalling tactics. You never know. What I do want to say is, with my own analysis briefly on the spot right now, is you can see statistically this case is dropping off and has been for some time because it's still going on. There's not been enough justice, if not much at all. There's not been enough progress, which I would argue and say there has been, more so on my channel. What's been documented, what's been mentioned in chat by other people. It's an unfortunate time, but it always bloody happens. And what that is, you got a case, somewhat fresh, do coverage, people watch, people listen, people participate, goes on for a certain length of time. Fast forward on, midpoint, it drops just a little bit, people are still active. And then past that point, a lot of people just walk away, and then you've got the regulars, long-time viewers, long-time participators on the Facebook pages, the Reddit pages, and wherever else. That's obviously all good. People who have got stamina. You remember the stamina war. I said it months ago. I made that prediction months ago. And a few little humans here and there said, what are you on about? It's got nothing to do with stamina. Oh, really? Where are you? Where's that frequency? Where's that depth? Where's that consistency? Where's that focus? People can only go on for so long, and that's natural human behavior. But the only reason why it's a little frustrating, not towards them, but just in general in life, because when shit goes down, when cracks start to form, when breaking news comes out, when never seen before material is aired, for example, on my channel, it's unfortunately at a time of when it has dropped off. So all those people that were waiting and waiting for it never got to see it because either they walked away too early or they hung around as long as they could and then moved on to other stuff. And it's unfortunate because they may never see or hear it. And then maybe 2 years on, the odd person will randomly come to my channel and be like, oh, is that the case? I do remember there was a time in the past where subscriptions, notifications were not working, and then someone came to my channel and said, oh, I'm like 1 to 2 years late. I didn't know you were still uploading. Didn't know I was still making videos on a case. So who's that? Mr. Consistent? Yes. Oh, me, yes, exactly. The hell's going on there? Of course, notifications may be dodgy, not work, but it is a certain length of time where you are aware and alert of how videos are made and what they're focused on, and if it's so consistent and it's somewhat frequent, why would there be a surprise? I don't know, it's weird. Dodgy. But still, I think there has been levels of breaking news, and more so now, the cracks forming or opening up, widening more. That's important in itself. When cracks open up, and it might portray people in a bad, negative light because they've done it to themselves and others have in other ways. Is that a form of progression? Within the case, yes and no. It's a form of progression in breaking down the BS and clearing things up along the way to shine light on it and then reinforce other areas. But it could also be seen as going backwards because what you were led to believe in as for progression said by others turns out wasn't the case, and it all crumbles. And then you're back to square one or wherever you left off from. So it can have positive and negative effects, and it could lead to further outrage or frustrations, but all I would say is you use it as a guide and a measuring tool that if one thing breaks down, another one could follow like a chain reaction, and it's all by the same individual or people. Who knows what else could happen next? So just be alert, be prepared. There could be more shocks and twists and turns in the case, even this late on. Can be surprising. It's like the Dylan Rouse case, yeah, from 2022 to April 9th, 2024. That's how long I was covering the case for. Almost 500 videos made on that case. And of April 9th, 2024, the most biggest breaking news came out in which the plea deal was made accepted with Brenner, the murderer, in revealing the location of where Dylan's body was finally buried at, and they finally brought the son home. So after all that time, and thinking, oh, this person ain't going to break, ain't going to crack, they're so cold, nothing's going to happen. Even in that case, even though it was dragged out, they found the person, somewhat competent enough to actually take him in and eventually charge him properly. And you think, well, that's a done deal, but because of the awkwardness, because he wasn't willing to open up or reveal the location originally, and he was shutting off from people and whatnot, it seemed like a lost cause, and yet there was still progress. You could apply some of that reasoning with the Noah Presgrove one. But that aside, I think we'll leave it there for now. Just wanted to give you some small little updates. Hopefully you found the video somewhat interesting. You want to catch up on the previous ones, iSymbol playlist up there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, whenever that is. Goodbye, good night for now.